The Weed of the Week is sponsored by the Enlist Weed Control System from Dow AgroSciences, a new herbicide and trait system that will build on glyphosate.
Farming isn't just in the land, it's in you. Get ready to take control of weeds like never before. Enlist will build on the Roundup Ready system with new herbicide and trait technology, combining proven control of a new 2,4-D and glyphosate. Protect what matters without changing the way you farm.
Our weed of the week is field pennycress.
Field pennycress is a winter annual. That means it's going to emerge in the fall, it's going to grow a little bit in the fall, it's going to survive over the winter, and then chances are by the time you get to spray in the spring, it's going to be big. So this is one of the weeds we were just talking about with Banville and 2,4-D that you want to hit it in the fall. Certainly you can wait until spring, but by then that weed is already big. You don't have as good a chance to get it under control.
The other thing is that it has a very strong odor to it. And if you've got livestock, for example, dairy cattle, and they start eating that field pennycress, that's going to put an odor even into the milk. So it can be a big issue that way, not just in terms of, well, how much yield is that weed going to rob, but it could also be a problem down the road.
When you talk about that, it would be out in pastures where the livestock is going to eat this.
And also alfalfa fields.
Yep, that's true. But in pastures, a lot of people like to spray their pastures in the spring, and especially the late spring after they've done all their cropping. Okay, well, when is field pennycress active? It's active in the fall and the early spring, so you've missed the window. So what I'm trying to say here is if you've had some pennycress problems, you need to switch some of your pasture spraying to fall or spray an additional time in the fall. When we start talking about alfalfa, what are you going to do there? Because we don't have a lot of good choices unless you've got Roundup Ready alfalfa.
There are two decent choices that you can spray in any alfalfa, and that would be using Pursuta Raptor, which are basically the same chemical family, or you could use a strong rated Buctril. The real key is just getting out there at the right time. As Brian was mentioning, you want to get it when it's small. You don't want to let it get huge. And definitely don't say, well, my first cutting, I'm just going to cut and then I'll worry about it after that. No way. That first cutting is so valuable. You don't want to let field pennycress get going. Plus, it's an annual weed, so you definitely don't want to let it go to seed.
Okay, with pennycress in corn, I'd probably start with something like Verdict. Sharpen would be fine. Balance Flex has some activity, but it's not great. Post-emerge, I like Status the best. Turning to wheat, pretty easy. Start with Sharpen, follow up with Husky, that's what I would do. And then in soybeans, I like our 3-pre strategy, Metribuzin, either Authority or Valor, and one of the yellows. Pre-emerge. Post-emerge, there's nothing that's real great. Yeah, Pursuta Raptor has some activity, but it's not 100%. So that leaves Roundup as your best choice in soybeans.
Or Liberty. Both of those are very effective, and most of the soybean acres, you can spray Roundup or Liberty on.
Well, that's it for our Weed of the Week, but stay tuned. Iron Talk is coming up next.